Hey everyone, and welcome to Games Radar's trailer analysis for Pokemon X and Y. If you haven't seen the original trailer, you should really do that too, because we're going to be stopping the footage a lot and using a ton of slow motion so you can see everything there is to see. Let's get started. The on-screen Pikachu eventually freaks out and shoots lightning, but we do see a tower in the flash. This might be the Eiffel Tower or a tower within the Pokemon universe. When it zooms back and we see the world, it looks like Pikachu might have been in France, so that could have been the Eiffel Tower. That said, none of this is probably important. On to gameplay. This is a 3DS game, sorry DS and Wii U owners. Our first look at the male hero rendered in 3D. Yes, this Pokemon game is the first to be rendered in full 3D. Note the bag on his side and the awful sunglasses on his hat. The hero is running along Route 3, as you can see on the sign. There are Pokemon trainers ready to fight in the background, some patches of high grass, and what might be a Pokemon Center. Let's zoom in on that. Some minor platforming and pitfall-style rope swinging. We're guessing that it's linked to the circular spots on the ground. Maybe they're action markers or something like that. And here's the female hero running along some flowers, which probably act just like tall grass. Two things of note here. First, the hero is skating, not running. Maybe rollerblades replace the bike in this game. There's also a guy standing on the left. Remember him for later. And the female hero is running near a statue that we really can't make out even when we zoom in. It looks sort of like a Golurk, a Palpitoad, and maybe a human trainer? We really can't be sure. An interesting brown area. It's very brown. Maybe this is the base of a new mob team or something? On to the starters. The new grass starter is Chespin. He has an adorable hat. Here's our first look at battles, which are also in full 3D. On the bottom left, you can see that there are 2 Pokeballs out of 6, showing that the number hasn't changed between games. Chespin is attacking a Magikarp, which is actually an important thing to note. In Black and White, the developers shied away from reusing old Pokemon, but that's apparently not the case anymore. There's a Golurk, a Generation 5 Pokemon, but it sort of looks like Chespin is using a dark move against it. We can get to that later. And here's the next starter, a fire Pokemon named Fennekin, who's fighting a Munchlax from Generation 4, and now a Corellia from Generation 3. Doesn't it sort of look like Fennekin is using a psychic move? Third and final starting Pokemon, a water type named Froakie. Fighting against a Pansear from Generation 5, and a Generation 5 Patrat that Froakie jumps up and uses what appears to be a fighting move against. So, let's pause for a second. If Fennekin might also be psychic, if Chespin might also be dark, and if Froakie might also be fighting, that means that there's a second elemental trinity in play, and that's really exciting. The hero is being followed around by an NPC in what's most likely a cutscene. Note that the trainer doesn't try to start a fight when the hero passes. The new and a wild blank appears, has a nice 3D effect, and shows off a Pikachu here. We really have no idea what's going on here. It might be how online battles work, or maybe it's a gym. But look at that guy on the left. He totally looks like that guy from earlier. A Generation 1 Pokemon, a Psyduck fighting a Litwick from Generation 5. Audino fighting a Weevil. We're guessing this is our first look at a gym. This looks like an insect-type gym. The hero falls into a spider web, and there are a bunch of trainers standing around looking for a fight. Mindfu fighting a Dratini. If that last scene was the insect gym, then this is definitely the fire gym. Look at all that fire. Now here's our first look at the legendary Pokemon for each game. Flying here is Yveltal, who literally stops to make a giant Y. And then there's Xerneas, who actually has an X in its eye. And here's the best part of the trailer.
Coming worldwide, October 2013.
That's it for Games Radar's Pokemon X and Y trailer breakdown. Sorry if I mispronounced any Pokemon names, but be sure to subscribe to Games Radar on YouTube, like the video, and come back for more gaming news.